In the quiet town of Amstetten, a darkness lurked that would shock the world. Nestled in the heart of Austria, Amstetten is a town where life moves at a leisurely pace, with streets lined by quaint houses and the gentle murmur of everyday life. Here, the Fritzl family home stood unassumingly, its exterior no different from its neighbors, complete with a well-kept garden and toys scattered on the lawn. Josef Fritzl, known to his neighbors as a regular citizen, a family man, and an engineer, portrayed the epitome of suburban normalcy. To outsiders, his life seemed routine and unremarkable. Community members saw him as a somewhat reserved but polite individual who attended local events and participated in societal norms. However, this facade of an ordinary life masked a chilling reality that was far removed from the mundane activities of the town. Beneath this veneer of suburban tranquility, the unimaginable truth was skillfully concealed. But who was Josef Fritzl, the man behind this facade? To understand the horror that unfolded within the walls of the Fritzl home, one must delve into the early life of Josef Fritzl. Born in Austria in 1935, Fritzl's childhood was marked by a tumultuous relationship with his mother, who was described as authoritarian and unloving. This early exposure to a harsh family environment may have laid the groundwork for his later disturbing behavior. As Fritzl grew into adulthood, he cultivated the image of a family man and a successful engineer. To the outer world, he was a pillar of the community, involved in local events and seen as a respectable citizen. However, beneath this veneer of normalcy, Fritzl's life at home told a different story. Those who knew him closely described him as increasingly controlling and authoritarian. His need for dominance extended beyond the confines of his professional life into his personal affairs. At home, he ruled with an iron fist, his family subjected to his strict and often unreasonable demands. This control was not limited to mere household rules, it was an all-encompassing grip on his family's everyday lives. This duality of Fritzl's character is pivotal in understanding the chilling dichotomy of his public and private personas. On one hand, a competent engineer and a community man, and on the other, a tyrant within his own home. This stark contrast raises a disturbing question. How could such a respected member of the community harbor such dark secrets? As the years passed, Fritzl's behavior grew more erratic and his controlling nature turned sinister. It was this descent into darkness that set the stage for the unimaginable horrors that would later be discovered beneath the Fritzl family home. A respected community member by day, Josef harbored dark secrets that would soon unravel. This chilling revelation not only shocked the world, but also peeled back the layers on the complex and often hidden nature of human psychology in the face of absolute control. The horror began in 1984 when Josef decided to turn his daughter Elisabeth into his prisoner. Beneath the seemingly tranquil family home in Amstetten, Josef Fritzl was constructing a dark secret. With meticulous precision, he built a hidden chamber, a dungeon designed to be the prison of his own daughter. This concealed space was crafted beneath the basement, ingeniously hidden behind walls that betrayed no hint of the terror within. Josef engineered the dungeon with cold efficiency, soundproofed walls to mute the outside world, and a heavy code-locked door to ensure absolute control. The chamber was equipped minimally, with just enough amenities to sustain life, yet devoid of any comfort that could ease the mental and physical torment Elisabeth would endure. The day Elisabeth's life changed forever was chillingly ordinary at first. Lured into the basement by her father on the pretext of helping him with a door, she found herself trapped. As the heavy door closed behind her, the reality of her situation would have dawned horrifyingly clear. Elisabeth was now a captive in her own home, her freedom extinguished in an instant. For the next 24 years, this dungeon was Elisabeth's world. It was here in this oppressive isolation, cut off from the light of day and the warmth of human contact, that she lived a life dictated by the whims of her captor. This concealed space, unknown to even close family, became Elisabeth's living nightmare. For over 2 decades, Elisabeth's existence was erased from the world above. In the darkest recesses of her father's home, Elisabeth Fritzl endured a life that defies comprehension. Beneath the ordinary veneer of a family house in Amstetten, a chilling reality unfolded, hidden from the light of day. Elisabeth was not only held captive, but was forced to bear children in this subterranean prison, a dungeon meticulously constructed by her own father, Josef Fritzl. The birth of each child in this grim enclosure was a testament to both her unimaginable suffering and her profound resilience. With no medical assistance or comforting presence, Elisabeth brought 7 children into the world under conditions that were starkly medieval. These children, half of whom never saw the world outside until their liberation, grew up knowing only the confines of their cold, damp prison. Josef Fritzl's deception was diabolical. To the outside world, he maintained a facade of normalcy that was as convincing as it was false. He manipulated his wife and the community with tales of Elisabeth joining a religious cult. To bolster this lie, he coerced Elisabeth into writing letters, which he then presented as proof of her supposed voluntary disappearance. These letters, filled with words she was forced to write, were nothing short of psychological torture, adding another layer to her already immense burden. Inside that hidden space, time stood still for Elisabeth, marked only by the silent growth of her children and the ever-present shadow of her captor. Her days blended into nights in a perpetual cycle of fear and fortitude. Amidst this darkness, her resilience was her rebellion, her survival a silent scream against the injustice imposed upon her. The world above carried on, oblivious to the nightmare unfolding beneath their feet. Neighbors, friends, and family remained unaware, deceived by Joseph's elaborate lies and the normalcy he projected. All while under her father's roof, an appalling secret life persisted, unseen and unheard. The facade began to crack in April 2008 when one of Elisabeth's children fell critically ill. This unexpected twist in the tale was the beginning of the end for Josef Fritzl's decades of deception. Elisabeth, desperate to save her child, convinced Josef to allow the ailing child to be taken to a hospital. It was a decision that would unravel the tightly wound secrets of the Fritzl household. At the hospital, the child's severe condition raised immediate red flags among the medical staff. The symptoms were not just severe, but unusual, hinting at a prolonged lack of exposure to sunlight and other essential elements. The medical team, driven by concern and professional duty, posed questions that Josef found increasingly difficult to dodge. His explanations were inconsistent, his demeanor suspicious. The attending physician, sensing that something was profoundly amiss, decided to alert the authorities. It was a decision that would finally shine a light into the dark corners of the Fritzl home. The police, armed with questions and a warrant, arrived at the Fritzl residence, their presence marking the first real threat to Josef's constructed reality in over 2 decades. As they delved deeper, the authorities began to peel back the layers of lies that Josef had crafted so carefully. What they uncovered would shock the world and finally offer a glimpse of hope to Elisabeth and her children. This critical moment ignited the spark needed to expose the years of darkness. The world reeled as the truth came to light, leading to Josef Fritzl's arrest and trial. The courtroom, a stark arena of justice, echoed with the chilling details of decades of deceit and torment. As the gavel fell, the grim narrative of Elisabeth Fritzl and her children unfolded, capturing the attention of a global audience. The trial was more than a legal proceeding. It was a spectacle that gripped the world. Every testimony, every piece of evidence added layers to the horrifying reality Elisabeth had endured. Josef Fritzl, once a figure of paternal facade, stood exposed as the architect of a nightmare. His conviction was swift, the sentence unequivocal: life imprisonment. This verdict was a resolute declaration that such malevolence would find no refuge in the light of justice. However, the end of the trial was merely the beginning of a long road to recovery for Elisabeth and her children. Removed from the shadow of their dark past, they embarked on the arduous journey towards normalcy. The process was painstaking, with each step away from their grim past a testament to their resilience. Therapy sessions, new environments, and gradual public integration played pivotal roles in their healing. Despite the support and the passage of time, the deep psychological scars were indelible. Elisabeth and her children emerged as symbols of strength and survival, but their ordeal left a permanent imprint on their lives. Though justice was served, the scars remain, a reminder of the ordeal that transpired in the heart of Amstetten. Elisabeth Fritzl's story transcends her own suffering. It's a call to all of us. It's vital to strengthen our resolve and support those who have endured abuse. Look around. Be that observant neighbor, the considerate friend, vigilant and ready to act. Awareness and timely intervention can break the chains of silence and prevent horrors like those in Amstetten. Each action, each report can make a monumental difference. Together, let us be the vigilant eyes and compassionate hearts that guard against the darkness lurking behind closed doors.